Title: She posted a pic with her boss captioned, "The partnership that really matters." I replied, "Best of luck." An hour later, her father stormed into her office, white as a ghost, screaming, "The company!" Start: She posted the photo at 9:12 a.m., her hand on his shoulder, his suit too familiar. The caption: "The partnership that really matters." I didn't comment, didn't like, just replied, "Best of luck." By 10:16, her father had stormed into her glass office, his face white as ash. I watched from my car across the street as his voice tore through the tinted walls. Her mascara smeared, her lips trembled. And when his hands slammed against the desk, I knew my work was complete. But let's rewind. I met Sarah 5 years ago, back when ambition was still something we shared, not something that devoured her. We built the company together. Late nights, instant noodles, a cracked monitor, and a dream no one else believed in. We promised each other, no matter how big we got, we'd stay clean, transparent, loyal. But loyalty means different things when money enters the room. When we landed the contract with Kingswell Holdings, something changed. She started coming in late, new perfume, new suits, and a new number on her lock screen, one I pretended not to notice. I didn't ask, I observed. I've always believed silence is the most powerful question. The first confirmation came 3 months later. An accidental email, her forwarded thread with Kingswell's CEO, Patrick Lang. She'd pitched him our software directly under her own name, without copying me. The signature read, "Sarah Lang, co-founder, Lang Tech." She'd already rebranded, without me. That night, I went to the office, opened her folder, her personal drive. She hadn't even bothered to encrypt it. Maybe she thought I wouldn't look. Maybe she thought I couldn't. Inside, I found contracts, bank transfers, a shell company. She had siphoned 40% of our funds into a new entity, mine and hers, only without me. I remember sitting there in the dark, the hum of the server racks behind me, the air heavy with recycled betrayal. I didn't cry. I calculated. The first thing I did was freeze her comfort. Quietly, methodically, I began to shift assets. The patents, filed under my name alone. The code repository, encrypted and version locked. And the board, 4 of the 7 members owed me favors they hadn't yet repaid. Then I smiled and told Sarah I needed a break. Burnout, I said. She didn't look up from her phone. During my break, I built a trail. Emails, screenshots, transaction proofs. Enough evidence to make the SEC look like background noise. But revenge, real revenge, isn't about exposure. It's about precision, timing. Patrick Lang had a weakness. His company was under investigation for money laundering. I'd known that long before Sarah got close to him. What she didn't know was that the funds she'd been moving were being routed through one of my dummy accounts. On paper, it looked like his money. On her books, it looked like hers. All it took was one well-timed email to Patrick's lawyer, a concerned party claiming to have evidence of embezzlement between him and a company executive. The attachments spoke for themselves. And then I waited. When the photo went up that morning, her and Patrick smiling, holding champagne, I knew it was time. Best of luck. Simple, harmless. But words are weapons when you know where to aim them. An hour later, Patrick's lawyer called her father. He's the majority shareholder of the firm that funded her startup. The call was short, but I know how it went. I made sure of it. Your daughter's new partner just implicated her in financial misconduct. The SEC is requesting records. The transfers connect to her accounts. I can imagine his face draining of color, the tremor in his voice, the disbelief. By the time he reached her office, the investigation notice had already hit her inbox. I sat there in my car, coffee in hand, watching the life she built collapse in real time. The soundproof glass couldn't hide her panic. Papers flew. Her father's voice cracked through the air like thunder. He shouted something I couldn't hear, but I read his lips. What did you make him do? He thought I was still the good one, the loyal partner, the victim. He was half right. Sarah tried calling me that afternoon. I let it ring. Then she texted, "You ruined me." Why I didn't reply? Because revenge doesn't need an audience. It just needs completion. A week later, the company board called an emergency meeting. Patrick Lang resigned. His firm's assets were frozen, and Sarah was suspended pending investigation. I walked back into the same boardroom she once made hers, the same seat she stole from me, the same pen she gifted me years ago, engraved, "To our forever partnership." I used that pen to sign her termination papers. The next day, I sent her one final email. No threats, no accusations, just 4 words. The partnership's over now. I attached a photo, the original one we took 5 years ago, when we first registered the company. Her arm around my shoulder, my smile genuine. Both of us too naive to see where ambition ends and betrayal begins. That night, I stood on the rooftop of our old office. The city lights below blinked like dying promises. I should have felt anger or victory, but all I felt was stillness. Because revenge doesn't heal, it clarifies. It strips away illusion until all that's left is truth, raw and cold. A month later, I heard she'd left the country. Some say she's trying to rebuild. I hope she does. Not out of mercy, but because people like her need to live long enough to understand what they lost. Me? I rebuilt too. Smarter, quieter, alone. And sometimes, when I see another headline or another partnership announcement online, I smile. Because I know, every empire built on betrayal carries its own detonator. I just learned how to wire mine first.